Please welcome the man raised by monkeys, Corey Edwards.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. So good to see you all here. Comedians never know what they're going to get. Big crowds, small crowds. So this is very exciting. The energy is electric. Ooh, it's like static all over my clothes. But this is get to know you time. My name is Corey, and that's kind of an unusual name. I know it's weird when you run into somebody who has the same name as you. Have you ever been to somebody's house and their dog has the same name as you? Because I have. Went to somebody's house and had a dog named Corey. That is true. And yes, it's humiliating, but also a little confusing, because all night long, you're not quite sure who they're talking to. You'll just hear stuff like, Corey, get off the couch. And I'm like, you can't help it. It's your name. Somebody in the kitchen going, bad Corey, bad Corey. I am bad. How do they know it? Corey, what's that in your mouth? I'm like, it's a sandwich. You gave it to me. You want it back? That's your first impression of somebody is their name. You know? Have you ever met somebody with a Roman numeral after their name? They're the second or the third. We're all very impressed, aren't we? Woo. But when I meet somebody like that, I think, first of all, not very original. That's all they could come up with. It's like you're a sequel. Oh, I see, from the makers of Tom. Tom 2. The flaming letters come up on the screen. Tom 2. He's back and he's younger. The guy's not as good as the first Tom. And if you're going to start a business, you have to have the right name if you're starting a business. You're going to put your name up there. Driving down Sunset Boulevard, there is a karate school called Ken's Karate. And I'm thinking, when I drive past, if I'm going to study karate, it's not going to be from a guy named Ken. I'm sorry. Ken can sell me a used car. He can do my taxes. But karate, I don't want to be able to pronounce your name at all. I want a lot of consonants on that sign. A couple of hyphens, maybe a in there, You're my kung fu master. You're my crouching tiger. Let's go. It's really weird when some people get obsessed with things and they name their kids a hobby that they have. I read in the newspaper, this guy was so obsessed with ESPN, the sports channel, that legally, I read it in the paper, he named his child Espen. ESPN. What, that poor kid. It's a boy named Espen. What wife let their husband get away with that? She must have worked out a deal with him, like, well, if we have a little girl, I'm naming her Lifetime. Or Oxygen. I hope you're having a good week. This is a good way to relax, to just laugh and everything. But, if you're having like a bad day, or you have 5 bad days in a row, there's always somebody at the office trying to cheer you up, tell you something out of a Hallmark card you just don't want to hear right now. This guy said to me, I'm having a bad week. He says, well, you know what, Corey? Life is a roller coaster. Oh, well, thank you. No, that's how you got to look at it. It has its ups and downs. Life's a roller coaster. What wisdom from the mountaintop? I was thinking about that, and I'm here to tell you guys, no, life is not a roller coaster. It's the exact opposite. Because in life, the down part isn't the fun part. Because, when you're up here, things are great. And then all of a sudden, something goes wrong. It's like the domino effect. Something else goes wrong, and something else goes wrong, and it's all downhill from there. This isn't the part of your life where you go, whee! As a comedian, I'm always looking for a second job, you know. And, you know, I'll watch TV and I see some jobs I think I could do that, like the weatherman. Really, I mean, do we give these guys a lot of credit? That I know you got to know a lot of meteorological stuff, but you can be wrong. I mean, you can be incredibly general, especially here on the West Coast. West Coast weatherman, there's not a whole lot going on. I'm not kidding. This is the honest truth. On the forecast a couple of weeks ago, this was his forecast, word for word. He says, today, partly sunny to mostly cloudy. Back to you. What do you mean, back to you? That's it? He just threw some suns and clouds on a map, he's done. That's his day. What other job can you be that general with? Can you call up your boss and go, yeah, I'll be in between 8 and noon, depending on sleepiness. We're there. And, and when I get there, I'll be partly working to mostly goofing off, so we'll see how it goes. I like kids a lot. Like, there's one right there. Kids are great. They're like natural comedians. And my wife and I don't have kids yet. We are this close to dressing our cat up in baby clothes. So it's time. Step away from the cat. It's a cat. But I love kids. Well, first of all, I love watching kids. Kids run everywhere they go. If it's 10 feet to the mailbox, they're like, run back inside. Run to the TV. By the time we're adults, that's why we all just want to sit down. We're tired. Also, kids skip. You get to a certain age, you just stop skipping, right? Unless you're in the land of Oz, as an adult, you do not skip. That's sad. We should all have skip to work day. It's such a happy thing. But a friend of mine who watches a lot of Discovery, he says, you know what? I heard that skipping is the most efficient way to move on foot. I was like, what do you mean? He says, it uses less energy than jogging, and you move just as fast. Efficient. It's like, wow, that's great. What do we do with this information? Can we put it to use? Let's use it in the armed forces, you know? We got a bunch of guys on foot. We got to move them places really fast. Conserve the energy. Can you see that? Man, the sun is going down. We've got to get back to base camp. We've only got an hour. I think you know what that means. We're going to have to skip. Let's go. I don't know what I've been going. Like 100 guys in green. It's funny, though, things that we do as kids, we just accept things as kids. You know, but I think back on the things that we did as kids, the songs we sang, like around the campfire. I mean, nobody knew what Kumbaya meant until we were like 20 years old. Then there's that one song, Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care, Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. I'm an adult now, I still don't know what's going on in that song. I don't even know what that song is about. But I do know this, people. Hey, someone's not being very supportive of Jimmy, are they? They don't care? What kind of a message is that for children? We need to support this guy, Jimmy. Get behind him on it, regardless of whether he cracks corn or whether he doesn't. Go for it, Jimmy! Crack that corn, we care, Jimmy! You rule, Jimmy! The crackinest corn cracker ever there was. What does that mean, cracking corn? What is that like? It sounds like slang for you're smelling the guy next to you. You're like, Mrs. Johnson, Jimmy cracked corn. I don't care. We'll open a window and I don't care. We'll open... But I know I'm getting older. I feel my mortality. I'm no spring chicken. You know, I know that I'm getting older, and you know, the people around me, my relatives, I see that they're getting older. They're not the people they used to be, and it's kind of the telling signs are when you start to lose your hearing. You know, when your grandparents lose their hearing, it's kind of like, oh, they're getting older. But it does take all the sweetness out of phone conversations. Our grandma is really losing her hearing, and you can't really have a sweet conversation. You're like, okay, Grandma, I have to go. Go. Sweet dreams, Grandma. Sweet dream. No. Dreams. Sweet. No. Sweet. Sweet dreams. No. Listen. Sweet dreams. I love you. Bye. I hope she got the message. You ask any really old person what their goal is, and it's just to make it to 100. Wouldn't that be great? If I could just make it to 100. Because that is really a great thing. When somebody hits 100, they get their picture in the paper. It's like you've gone platinum, right? You are in the triple digits, people. You should be saying, I made it! You know, you are superior to every human being you meet. You have been around longer. It's a great feeling. You're like, anybody you walk up to, oh, how old are you? 80? Why don't you wash my car? I'm 100. Fix me a sandwich while you're at it. 80. I was 80 20 years ago. I don't even remember 80. Decades ago. Who's the man? What's my name? But at 100, you'd be like, seriously, what's my name? Who is the man? Wait. That's me. I know I'm getting older because I do less crazy things. You know, like there was a time where I would parachute. Yeah, let's go parachuting. And now it's like bungee jumping. I see bungee jumping. I see a guy on a crane with the elastic thing. And I know it's safe, but God forbid something were to go wrong. I'm thinking, that is the stupidest way I could possibly die. Isn't it? I just don't want to risk going out like that. You know? Your obituary says died while bungee jumping. That's like a circus clown way to die. I just don't want to risk it. And then I picture myself up in heaven with all the martyrs and the saints and people who have given their lives in wars and died for causes. People who have given their lives to their families. Sacrifice. And then here's me, waiting in line. And my son, how did you die? Tied a rubber band around my ankles and jumped off a bridge. I don't know what I was thinking. Seemed like a good idea at the time. That was it. I'm embarrassed for all of eternity, walking the streets of gold, you know. Yeah, I'm the bungee boy, yeah. It was funny the first 1,000 years, thanks, yeah. I'm sure everybody in here's got a phone. A teeny tiny phone, right? Every phone we get gets smaller. It's the law. The phones have to get smaller and smaller. Can we just tell the phone companies, we're done. The phones are small enough. We don't, stop. Like, hello, what? Yes? What? Hang on. This is the size of my head. Here's a good size for a phone. What do you say? Like, I don't need a phone. I'm in jeopardy of swallowing. I thought it was a Tylenol. Turns out it was my phone. It's on vibrate. Call me. Wait a minute. My abs are getting tighter. Call me again. Yeah. I'm like Bruce Lee now. And then sometimes you don't even see the phone. Hands-free, right? The wire right up in the ear. Please, I'm here as a public service announcement. Stop wearing those in public. They're for the car. Quit freaking the rest of us out. You know? We don't know you're on the phone. Hang a sign around your neck. Put something to your head so we know you're on the phone. Carve it out of soap. I don't care. You can't just walk into a coffee shop. I know. Uh-huh. Yes. What? Yes. No. Well, what did you say? What did she say? What? Yeah. I know. Yeah. Well, let's go over it again. You want to do lunch? I'm like, you want lunch with me? What? I saw a guy walking downtown doing that. Okay, yeah. And coincidentally, across the street was a crazy homeless guy finishing the conversation. I know, me too. It's atrocious. Why? Yes. My dog is the devil. Ah! He didn't have a phone. His phone was up here. I gotta go shopping for some food. I'm out of food at my house. When my wife and I go shopping, we're so excited, Hey, it's shopping day, we're gonna get some food. We're so excited though, we're throwing stuff in the cart we know we're not even gonna eat. We're not even gonna get to it. It's mostly cantaloupes we have this problem with. How can I describe this? We'll buy a cantaloupe, we'll take it home. We're all excited. We put it in the fridge, way back there behind the crisper. 2 to 3 weeks later, we get it out. It's fuzzy and brown. We throw it away. We go to the store, buy another cantaloupe, bring it home, put it back behind the crisper. 2 to 3 weeks, like clockwork, purple and green, throw it away. We're gonna eat this one, I swear it. We don't even keep clocks or calendars at our house anymore. We just tell time by cantaloupes. Like, we haven't been to Disneyland in 18 cantaloupes. Let's go. I'm thinking of getting like a little cantaloupe watch. It's brown. I have a meeting. My favorite food group is dessert. One of my favorite foods is the fortune cookie. Now, here's a helpful hint. There's paper in there. Don't find out the hard way. And here's what I've got to say about the fortune cookie. I think that fortune cookie people are slacking off. I think they're getting soft. They've just given up. They're not predicting the future anymore. They're just putting dumb little phrases and abstract sayings on the paper, aren't they? You cracked one open lately, it's like, a gathering of friends will bring you happiness. That's not a fortune, that's a Martha Stewart helpful hint cookie. I can't use that. Or it'll say something I already know, like, saving money will prove financially rewarding. Well, no duh. Thank you, fortune cookie. I didn't know that. What was that again? My favorite fortune, though, I'm not kidding. This is the truth. I open up the cookie, and it literally says on the paper, maybe someday you will go to the moon. Huh? I was like, now we're talking. I respect that. That's commitment. That takes guts. That is laying it out there. I am going to the moon! Although it said maybe at the front of the whole thing. That's what made me laugh. Like the legal department got a hold of it first. Before it went out of the fortune cookie factory, they're working on all those teeny tiny typewriters, right? They're like, going to the moon. That is pretty good, yes. Better put a maybe in there. We don't want a lawsuit. You don't want me showing up. Say, you said I'd go to the moon! Oh, maybe. My bad. And I eat too fast. I know this. Maybe some of you, since I've been a kid. Here's how I know that I eat too fast, because once a meal, I bite my lip, or my cheek, or my tongue. I'm crunching down on something. What is wrong with me? What kind of ravenous beast am I? I'm eating pieces of my own face. I guess I can't get the food in fast enough. I'm like the Tasmanian devil. I might take off a finger. Watch out, I'm eating. I'm always on the go, like I can't get out of my car and eat. I have to have the drive-through and I have to get the food and keep driving, keep eating. I'm looking for the fast drive-through window, 30 seconds or less. I know where they are. I'm hoping someday I'll find a drive-through that's so fast they'll just open up the window and shove the food right into my mouth. Like, ah! Or, I don't even want to have to chew. Just chop it up and put it in a squeeze bottle. Ow! I'm keeping it moving. And I eat too much fast food. And this is a true story that happened. I was in a fast food joint. I won't say which one, but I ordered a hot apple pie. And, well, that's what they call it. It's more like a burrito with hot apple glue in it. And, see, it's so hot, they've got a warning on the box, right? You've all read it every time you get it. Caution, filling is hot. Like the Surgeon General put it on there. Warning. This lady must have been having a really intense day because this time she actually says it to me. She goes, here's your hot apple pie, and be careful, that filling is hot. I was like, yeah, whatever. She goes, hey, I'm serious. I was like, thanks for the warning, sister. Should I just come back in a couple of hours? Do you have some Mick tongs I can pick this up with? This lethal hot lava? Some flame retardant Mick gloves? You know what? I'm going out into a dark parking lot in a few minutes. Why don't you give me 5 or 6 of these things, and in case I get jumped by somebody, I can just throw some hot apple pies on them. They'll find this guy with rectangular burns on his back. He's like, ah! Someone should get killed in a Steven Seagal movie with a hot apple pie, shouldn't they? Ah! The cops are like, got him with the hot apple pie again. Got to get a warning on that box. Let's talk about Mickey D's for a second, just for a second. Do you remember growing up, on the posters and the Happy Meals, that little town, McDonald Land, that little happy subculture of McDonald Land people, they're all pretty creepy, aren't they? When I was a kid, I think the Hamburglar has gotten cuter. When I was a kid, his little pinch wrinkled face looked like an old man serial killer in a jail outfit. Now he's like, rabble. What? Here's our mascot for hamburgers. He likes to steal things. He just got out of the joint. He's still got the uniform on. Have a hamburger. Mayor McCheese. Who is not disturbed by Mayor McCheese's immense head? See that coming up the road at you? With goggle eyes. That's creepy. What kind of back and neck problems does that guy have? He can't run a town like that. He's like, I'm the mayor! Like, snap! And Grimace? What the heck is Grimace? What is he? What food does he represent? He's like this purple, gelatinous, boneless blob. He looks like Jabba the Hutt's goofy younger brother. He's like, what's up, Jabba? Can I have some of your french fries? I can't pick them up. Very tiny hands, Grimace. Tiny. A lot of my friends have gotten engaged recently. I've been married for a while, and I love marriage. And when I look back and see people getting engaged, special time. But I think about it, and it's not really equal to the guy, is it? When the woman gets engaged, she gets a diamond ring to walk around with. During the engagement, what does the guy get? Nothing! He gets to follow her around and point to it, and that's mine. I bought that. We need to start some kind of tradition for the guys, like let him pin the receipt to his lapel for 6 months or something. Look what happened to me. All his guy friends gather around. You gotta see it. It's the biggest receipt, Charlie. Come here. That's nice. What is that? Triplicate? What? And when your sister gets married, typically she gets a different last name, and that is really weird. For me, I could not get used to it. My sister did Katie Edwards her entire life. And then she goes and marries this guy named Tim Hooten. He's a great guy, but it's like now all of a sudden I gotta learn a new name. Her name is Katie Hooten. My sister is Katie Hooten. Katie Hooten. Katie Hooten. Katie Hooten. It's the cutest name in the world. It's a Saturday morning cartoon character. Katie Hooten from Pokemon. I told her it sounds like a foreign language. It sounds like slang for Amish people. Can you see a guy with a long beard? And he's like, so there I was out Katie Hooten in my crops. This young lad comes a Katie Hooten up my walk. With a big Katie Hooten in his hands. There'd be much Katie Hooten at the barn raising tonight. It's weird. And guys, when you do get married, it is great when you find the right person. It is great. But there are things in your house that you would not have if you was a single man. I got real down home on you there for a second. I walk through my house and I think, if I was single, I would not have half the stuff in this house that I have. I would not care about this stuff. I have 18 pillows on my bed. I don't sleep with any of them. We just take them down every night. We go to sleep, wake up the next morning. See you tonight. They're not for anything. I'm thinking it's just an endless cycle. I'm thinking of sneaking in when she's not looking and just sewing them all together into a big pillow igloo just to make it easier. The cat can sleep in that at night. Sleep in the pillow igloo, Kitty. And because I'm the man of the house, I'm Mr. Fix-It all of a sudden. I didn't take that class. I don't get that newsletter. But I'm the guy that, okay, well, I'll learn how to do it. I end up at Home Depot for hours. I just get lost in there. It's a time sucker. You just walk around the 800 aisles. I don't know where I am. I don't know. I haven't figured out the organization yet. I'm just looking for the two guys with the orange vests. That's all. All right. Journal, day 5. Still looking for orange vest. And everybody that shops at Home Depot builds houses for a living, apparently. They like got forklifts full of lumber. They're backing it up to the register. Dee, dee, dee. I'm just here to hang up a shelf, balance a picture frame, help me. And they treat me like I know too much. They treat me like help me. Treat me like the bozo that I am. They just give me short answers and walk away. Doesn't help. I'm like, I finally find the guy in the orange vest. And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for number 8 screws. And the guy says to me, well, those would be in hardware. Hey, you know what, mister? This whole store is a hardware store. Be more specific. I don't go to Toys R Us looking for the toy section. Help me. I'm looking for electrical tape. Well, that's in electrical. Well, thank you, genius. I could have told you that. Do I get an orange vest now? I have to say, the best thing about having a woman in my life is that she helps me with my fashion sense. I don't have a fashion sense. Women have something built into the DNA. I would leave the house in a onesie if I could. Give me 7 jumpsuits for the week. I'm not trying to impress anybody at this point. But it's good to have a woman in the house to go, oh, you're going out in that. As a joke, gotcha, I'll be right back. But women love to dress men up. They love to dress their men up. It's fun to them. I call it the post-doll syndrome. You know? They used to have dolls, now they got us. Put this shirt on with these shoes, walk around. have got to get that for you. That is precious. I'm just following along, just going in and out of that little room in my sock feet, like, try this one on. They're my clothes, and I don't care. Shopping for clothes is the most boring thing in the world to me. 5 minutes into shopping for clothes, I'm like that kid in the mall. I turned into 6 years old. You know, see a kid that's just done shopping? He's like, I don't have it. I don't have it. Go. Like they're dying. But I respect that about kids. They don't care. They can be in the bank, in the church, in the mall. If they're tired and they're done, that's it. They're like, oh, I can't take this. I'm out. I'm done. I'm gonna do the rest of my act from here. This is nice. So what's up with salad? But kids, I love that. You'll be walking through Walmart in one aisle. There's just some kid laid out, and the mother's standing over him, going, "Will you get up? Get up! Get up!" And the kid's like, "No." Suddenly, the kid has no bones or ligaments left in his legs. He's marionette boy. Yeah. Walk with me. I can't remember how to walk. Some moms will just end up dragging them. They're like, I wish I could do that, I'm an adult now. I can't do that. I have to be grown up. The other thing I wish I could do when I am done shopping and I've just had it is do what other kids do, They go hide in that island of pants. You know what I'm talking about. It's nice in there, isn't it? Inside the island of pants. It's like your own little office in there. It's quiet, no one can see you, you got denim curtains all around you. You have to be careful because they will be occupied. Like, shh, occupied, sorry. I'll try the corduroys down here. The thing I have found out about shopping with women is women have different sizes than men. A whole different system. Different shoe sizes, different pant sizes, it's all different. I know this because, like, my wife wears a size 8 jacket, and I wear a size 44. That's a big difference. Does it have to be that big? What am I, the Jolly Green Giant? I'm out knocking over buildings looking for a jacket. Ah! Oh, let me see jacket. Ah! If I go shopping for a jacket for my wife with my frame of reference, I'm bringing home something we can cover the car with at night. Something we can go camping in. Happy birthday! There's so much pressure on women to be tiny and petite and little. You hear them talking about it at parties. Did you see her? She lost a lot of weight. She's so tiny now. She's teeny tiny. Look how teeny weeny she is. She's this tall. There she goes. She's like a leprechaun now. She could sleep in a shoebox. I hate her. A friend of mine, he has a very petite wife, told me she is a size 0. I hadn't heard that before. She's a what? That's not a size, that's the absence of anything. Is she visible? What? There is one good thing that men do pay attention to fashion. Throughout all the great battles in history, what you wear to the battlefield determines who's going to win the war. You look throughout history, fashion wins the war. Doesn't that sound manly? Fashion wins the war. But I was watching an old Davy Crockett movie on cable, so I've done my research. And Davy and his boys are fighting the French, and I can tell who's going to win. Because, here's Davy and his guys, and they're like in fur-skin hats and bear-skin coats and earth tones and moccasins. They're invisible, leaves and twigs in their hair. They're like ninja buccaneers, And then here comes the French in straight lines, in marching band uniforms. They've got like the big blue jacket with the brass buttons down the front and the big stovepipe hat with a big white feather on the front. And I'm not kidding, in the movie, they have a bullseye painted on the top of the hat. Some circular design just to help you out, I guess. Shoot me here. This is where my brain is. This will kill me. Oh, wait, they're French. So, shoot me here. This is where my brain is. And if that does not work, look for the white X under my chest. I got to tell you, I've always loved the movies, and I grew up trying to find out, behind the scenes, special effects, how they did things. We didn't have computers when I was young. The computer effects, it all came down to one simple thing: little tiny people in rubber suits. I found it fascinating. A monster would unzip, and 5 little guys would come out. Okay, lunch break. I thought that was great. There was a little tiny person in E.T., a little tiny person in R2-D2, except for Yoda. I know who was in there. It was Grover from Sesame Street. Even as a kid, I knew same voice. That's just Grover in a rubber suit. Oh, yes, come young Luke. It's the same guy. I expected any moment for him to be training Luke and say, and now, today, before we learn about the Force, we will learn about near, far, near, far. ABC. That was a perfect combination. Star Wars and the Muppets together. That was my perfect world. I wanted other Muppets to be walking around on the planets in Star Wars. Hey, bird. Today's planet is brought to you by the letter B. Bird. I also learned that Yoda is like 2 degrees off from Scooby-Doo. You can go from Yoda to Scooby-Doo in a second. Like his training session, suddenly Yoda could just become, when I was imitating him as a kid, I was like, yeah, you could just, well, today, before we begin our training, we will eat this gigantic sandwich and box of Scooby snacks. Are there ghosts in this tree, Yoda? Oh. Like the new Star Wars movies, it shouldn't be Luke or Anakin, it should be Jedi Shaggy, Like Run, Yoda hits the Phantom Menace. I do love the movies. And let me ask you this. Who here loves the Lord of the Rings? Me too. Yes. They're great movies, and I read half of one of the books when I grew up. They're long. It's a long book. 3 long books. Very thick. But I got to thinking. I was thinking, now, come on here. This whole world of people is fighting over this thing of power. It's a ring. They're all fighting over a ring. Billions of people killing each other over a ring. It's a fashion accessory. It's very small. It could have been anything. It could have been some earrings, a pair of socks. They put the power in this tiny little thing. I thought, my mind was going, I thought, what if it was a little pair of shorts? So I did a little research, and I took some excerpts from the book and the screenplay, Lord of the Rings, and I replaced the word rings with shorts. Or pair of shorts wherever applicable. So pretend I'm Kate Blanchett. And just listen to how this would have been a totally different adventure. Some of the recitations from this story. 9 shorts were given to the kings of men. The evil Lord Sorin crafted a master pair of shorts, into which he poured all of his malice and hatred for mankind. The shorts came to the creature Gollum. For over 500 years, they poisoned his mind as he wore them. My precious. Elastic band for my precious. You see Sam and Frodo? Sam, the shorts, they're getting heavier. Don't you put them on, Mr. Frodo! He's like... He's tempted. I'm putting them on! One pair to rule them all. One pair to find them.
one pair that shrinks to fit, and in the darkness bind them. Lord of the Shorts.
So, you know, it could have been a different movie. I have to say this. I'm always very inspired when I see a big crowd of happy faces, and I think, where are we all going? Well, there's a million stories here, you know. What are the goals and dreams of you people out there? And I just want to say, keep going, you know, because who knows where all of us will go, you know? Who knows what we will achieve? One person out here could discover a new invention no one has ever discovered before. Somebody right here in this room, you know? Somebody could go someplace no one has ever been and plant a flag somewhere far away we've never seen before. And if that is you, my friend, don't say anything stupid when you do it, because it'll go down in the history books. You know? CNN will be there, the cameras, and you've got to say the right thing, because we'll all remember it forever. So prepare for that great moment. If you're thinking, that's going to be me, prepare. You know, like the first man on the moon, Neil Armstrong. He was doing a big thing, stepping on the moon. The whole world was watching. He had the right words to say, right? He was like,
"That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind."
Right? I don't know if he had writers or if he was working on that on the way up. He was like, oh, we're almost there. Okay, one big leap for me. I took a leap. You take a leap. Leap on, world. But he had the right thing to say. He'd been planning his whole life. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to have the right words. I'm going to do it. Thank goodness we didn't just send some random bozo up there onto the moon. You know, just one of us who hasn't prepared. You know, he steps off onto the moon, says the first thing off the top of his head.
This is so cool. I can't feel my legs.
Well, that's history. Decades of school children are memorizing this. It's on the side of government buildings and libraries now, etched in marble.
This is so cool, I can't feel my legs. And so it is written. Words for our times.
That's why I'm still working on my dreams. I want to be the first person somewhere just to freak out the history books for generations to come. Just step off and say something that makes no sense. Just
funky cold Medina. Ooh, let the dogs out. My fortune cookie was right, I guess.
Thanks, guys. You've been great. Thank you, Glendale.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Williams.
Hello! Wow, it's great. I thank you for coming here tonight. That I-4 traffic is wild. Man, it's scary. For those of you who have traveled into Orlando, in case you don't know this, Orlando is an old Indian word. It means road construction, okay? It is great to be here tonight and host the show for you. What an honor. We've got some great comedians on the lineup, and you are going to have a great time. My goal in life, if you would call it that, one of them, and I have a couple, but one of my goals in life is to help people understand that God gave us humor as a gift. Yes, God blessed us with the ability to laugh and to enjoy things that are funny. He put that within us. Let me put it this way. God allows stupidity to exist. to bless you. He could wipe it out. He could. The very God that created the heavens and the earth, that spoke life into existence, could say, stupidity, be gone. And it would be gone. But he leaves it there. Why? Because God understands that some of our weeks have 2 Mondays in them. Do you know what I'm talking about? We need to learn to laugh. Some of you are going, I don't understand what you are talking about. There's stupid stuff wherever you go. Pop the hood of your car. Look on the battery in your car. It will say, warning, no sparks, no flames, no smoking. Then it will say in fine print, do not drink battery acid. Have you ever been so thirsty driving anywhere that you said, pull this car over, pop the hood, get me a straw, okay? It's not gonna work. I walked into a Christian bookstore the other day. I won't mention the name of it, Family Christian Stores. Christian bookstore, they are selling this. Look at this. What would Jesus do? Pepper spray. All right, back off, Judas. You kiss me one more time, you're getting it in the eyes. You know what? One of the reasons I can laugh is I understand what God wants to do with us in laughter. Have I had a perfect life? No. Have I had great things happen in my life? Yeah, I've had those too. We've all had pains. I'll tell you about pain, no? I've had these things called kidney stones. Have you ever had them? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? They will make a Baptist speak in tongues. I am serious. You've had them, you know what I'm talking about. I got mine at 2 o'clock in the morning. Who's had them? 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning, pain went in here, came out here, and circled around. I sat straight up in bed. I thought my wife had shot me. You know, we've been married 22 years, 20 of them happily, by the way. At 22 years, we always promised we would never use the word divorce in our family, but we never said we wouldn't kill each other, all right? Sat straight up in bed. I said, honey, call 911. I was able of my own strength to help myself out of bed and onto the floor. I woke up, did you hear me? Woke up 5 minutes later, woke up in the ambulance with the guy trying to start an IV in my arm, trying 9 times. 9, did you hear me? 9 times I said, look, get Jimi Hendrix in here. He can find a vein. Let's go. He is shaking. Tears are running down his face. He said, I'm so sorry, sir. This is my first night on the job. Ah! I'm laying in a fetal position. Never hurt so bad in all my life. I looked at him, I said, that's gonna be real funny in about 3 days. What could God do in our lives if we could learn to laugh? Think about this. When you get together with your friends you haven't seen, maybe it's been 5 years, maybe it's been 5 months, 5 days, 5 hours, I don't know. But you get together with your friends, you are catching each other up on the day. You are sitting on the back porch doing what Christians call fellowshipping. It's a Greek word. It means eating way too much. But experiencing God's grace in it all. You are telling them about your day. You are not telling them about the perfect day when everything was wonderful and everything was great and it was absolutely fabulous, are you? No, you are telling them about the day that fell apart. You are telling them about the day you dropped your cell phone in the toilet before you flushed. You are telling them about the day that you spent the first half of the day with your dress caught in the back of your pantyhose. And I know you men have had stuff happen to you too, but I'm not going to talk about that tonight. Gang, God wants us to laugh. You are going to do a lot of laughing tonight. Now, those of you who know me know that I'm really kind of a musical comedian. Coming out here and doing this stand-up thing is not my thing. So what I would like to do, with your permission, is I would like to close my portion of the evening with a song. Is that all right with you? Almost there. It's a little guitar. People are looking up here right now going, whoa, he's huge. It's a... In 1976, David Allan Coe and Steve Goodman wrote what was called the Perfect Country Song. Do you remember that? It was called the Perfect Country Song because it had 4 items in it. Help me out. Trains, trucks, mama, and prison. Right, exactly. And you can combine those. That was then, 1976. Tonight I want to write, with your help, the Perfect Country Song. Now I would like to take everybody's idea of what needs to go into it, but that will take a little too much time. So what I want you to do right now is you think right now what needs to go into the Perfect Country Song. Think about it. Put it right there in your mind. I am going to channel your thoughts up here. Okay, think. Okay, no, I know channeling is wrong. My Ouija board told me that. Okay, now, just... I got it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Perfect Country Song. Lost my job when I wrecked my truck. I hit a John Deere tractor and a 9-point buck. Spent 10 days in intensive care when my wife set fire to my underwear. Mama bought a gun at the Walmart store. Got arrested for shooting at the neighbor next door. My dog got run over by an old hay baler, and the bank repossessed my double-wide trailer. But it's all been good compared to loving you. You give poison ivy a good name. If I died right now, it wouldn't be too soon. I'd rather pass another kidney stone than have to spend another night with you. And I got yours too, sir. You ready? Here we go. Because beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But there ain't enough beer in Texas to wash ugly off of you. All I want from you right now is for you to catch a train or a plane or a bus or a Chevrolet. I'd rather pass another kidney stone than have to spend another night with you. Please enjoy this time of giving. Don't make change out of the plate, okay? Just try to hold that. We have that a lot at my church. Somebody will give a 10 and they'll, and they're, does anybody have singles? Hello? And so try not to do that tonight. As they're passing the plates, let's have a little fun. Let's find out where you're from. If you are not from Orlando, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're not from Orlando. Okay, we'll start right down front. Where are you from? Alabama. Wow, and you have all your teeth. Amazing. Good to see you. Hey, question, if 2 people from Alabama get a divorce, are they still cousins? Okay, they are. Okay. Good, now we know that. All right, good. What's the difference between a divorce from an Alabama girl and a tornado? No difference either way, you lose a mobile home. Okay, anyway. I meant that. Let's see. Good to see you. My family is from up near Huntsville, so good to see you. What part of Alabama? Oh, Mobile, that's just Florida West. Yeah, okay. That's it. All right, where else? Somebody else. You're from someone else far away. What about there in the black? Where are you from? New Hampshire. Wow, and you made it out. Okay. God bless you. Good to know that one row is Democrats here. All right, good. Let's see. Okay, what about right down here? Tennessee, okay, good to see you. God bless you. The wagons made it in tonight. Sir, yourself? Wisconsin. All right, very good. Is that the cheese state? Right, the cheese state. Why is it called the cheese state? They got a lot of cows there. Okay, well, that's probably a good reason. I guess that's why they call this the snowbird state, I guess. Yeah. So, very good. I met somebody over here from Bradenton. Where's our Bradenton people? We got a whole group from Bradenton. Where? Yeah, where? Oh, Bradenton. How you doing, sir? Now, you are some of the folks who you actually sponsor a child through New Missions, and you have been, you told me, for a couple of years. And the reason you're over here, they drove all the way over from Bradenton tonight, folks, just to be part and to support New Missions. So thank you so much. God bless you. When my family first moved to Florida, we moved to the line right between Sarasota and Bradenton. So I love your particular area. You know, Sarasota and Bradenton area, they are like the senior citizen capital of right? Am I right? It is. In fact, during January when all the snowbirds are down, the average age is deceased. Am I right? Yeah, so those of you guys, a lot of the folks that know me here, you know that for years I have been collecting signs. One of my favorite signs comes from Sarasota, Florida. In Sarasota, at every one of the crosswalks, you know what a crosswalk is, right? They've got the lines painted on the road. This is where you go across safely with your family. At every one of the crosswalks, they have a sign. I got to show it to you. It says, all vehicles must yield to pedestrians in crosswalk. And you know what? I think even without the sign, we know that, okay? But they're making it clear in Sarasota. The funniest part about this sign, it tells you all vehicles must yield to pedestrians in crosswalk, but it tells you if you don't, it's a $78 fine. That's right, run somebody down, 78 bucks. Let me put it this way, I make a pretty good living. For 78 bucks, somebody's going down. Do you know what I'm talking about? Can you imagine getting pulled over for this one? Yeah, Mr. Williams, you just ran down a lady back there. Did you see her fly, officer, or what? Young man, that's going to cost you $78. Tell you what, officer, wait here. We're going to circle around one more time. You can put it on the same bill there, Skeeter. How about that? You guys look great tonight. I'm glad you came. I'm glad I came. But you know what? I know the truth of the matter tonight. I know that some of us who are here tonight have some hurts in our lives. And I hope that the comedy was a ministry to you. I hope God used it to speak to your heart. You know, my goal is to find things to laugh about every day. The New England Journal of Medicine said if we laugh 100 times a day, it is equivalent for our heart muscle of jogging 10 miles. Wow. 10 miles, yeah, obviously not for all the muscles, but for the heart muscle. Smart Alex. There's a medical reason why I am fat. I am a forgetful bulimic. I binge, I forget to purge. Okay, I'll explain it to you. I was having a rough week myself in November of this year. I was trying to get a video shot. And these things aren't easy to do, you know. Everything can fall apart just like that if you don't watch it. And hired a video crew in Atlanta, Georgia. They came, they brought the cameras in, and 2,700 people had bought tickets to come, almost as many who are here tonight. And something happened to the truck, and the computer crashed, and it was all going awry, and Mr. Mike, Mr. Learn to Laugh, Mr. Find Funny and everything just couldn't seem to find funny in that. And I was mad. They said, Mike, you got to relax. Because no matter what, a lot of people are coming for a show, and you got to do it for them. And it's true. So I tried to go out and relax. I wound up at a place called Stone Mountain. Have you ever been to Stone Mountain, a little northeast of Atlanta? Beautiful, beautiful place there. And they've got a mountain there, and it's made out of stone. And they carved all the pictures of the Confederate generals right there on the side because, hey, you wouldn't want to forget those guys. And there I sit, just trying to mellow out, trying to get ready to do a good job for you folks. Flying across the face of that mountain was the most beautiful eagle that I had ever seen in my life. Now, you got to understand, I live in Lakeland, Florida. We don't have eagles there. We had one. Tastes like chicken. Well, you're right, more like spotted owl, but you need a pair of those to really have a good dinner. Sorry, I didn't know the PETA convention was in town tonight. PETA. People eat tasty animals, Dave, that's what it is. I think maybe I'm wrong. I apologize if I got it mixed up. Anyway, I said, boy, I would love to get a picture of that eagle and take it home to my son. I ran back to the little store, the little ranger store, the park store. Went in there and bought one of those disposable cameras because, of course, I didn't have my good one with me, you know, duh. And bought it, and I head out that door with my shiny 27-shot disposable camera for only $32.95. Plastic is very expensive in the national parks. And in the time it took me to go in that place and come out, the weather had changed. Now, see, I live like you do in Central Florida. We can see a storm in Daytona and go, in an hour and a half, we're going to have to go in. But you know what? When you live in the mountains, it's not that way. You can have a perfectly beautiful day right where you're at, but right on the other side of that peak is a storm, but you don't know it's a storm, right? Because you can't see it. I came out that door, and apparently coming up behind that mountain was a storm, and I didn't see it. And I come out of that store, and there is that storm coming over that mountain, and I got mad. I said, great. I just spent all this money on a stupid camera. By the time I get up to the face of the mountain where I can get close enough to it with this stupid camera, that eagle's going to be gone. That eagle's not going to stay out here in this wind. It was one of those storms. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about a cloud, a curtain of darkness. And the wind started to blow, and it wasn't raining yet, but it was just spitting rain. And I said, great. That eagle's going to be gone. But I forged ahead. I thought maybe I can get one shot or two. I get down to the base of the mountain where I can get a picture, and what was so amazing to me was that eagle did not run. That eagle did not run in the wind. It did not run in the rain. It took the same wind that was coming against it and used that wind to lift it up higher. And I said, whoa, that'll preach. Take that which is coming against you, turn it around, use it to lift you up higher. Now, I'm kind of a pastor at heart. I have to let you know I spent time as a pastor. And that was the toughest 2.5 weeks of my life. But I think I can relate to some of you ministers in the room. Know what you're going through. Take that which is coming against you, turn it around, use it to lift you up higher. Y'all look good tonight. If I were just to walk in off the street, I'd look around, I'd say, you know what? These folks got it together. These folks got it going on. They're happening. But I know the truth. Nobody told me. I know people. I know me. I know that in a crowd this size, there's some people who are hurting. There's some people that will go home from tonight having really needed to laugh tonight because the life that you're living right now is tough. Some of you are going home to tough decisions, and you're sitting there going, I have no idea what to choose. Some of you have faced crises in your life, and you're saying, I don't know how in the world I'm going to see the light of day on this one. Can I encourage you tonight? Take that which is coming against you. Turn it around. Use it to lift you up higher. Do I know exactly how? No, I don't. But I know that it can be done. Take that which is coming against you, turn it around, use it to lift you up higher. And maybe you're out there tonight, maybe you're saying, no, Mike, just everything's going good for me. Everything's just wonderful. And I just want to say to you, Monday is on the way. It's on the way for all of us, isn't it? Take that which is coming against you and turn it around, use it to lift you up higher. I don't write a lot of serious songs. This is the only one that I've ever written, to be honest with you. And I want to close out tonight with this. Maybe it'll speak to your heart. It's called the Eagle Song. And as the rain began to fall, I just took out a pencil and tried to put into words exactly what that eagle said to me. It goes like this.
Please welcome Nazareth.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming tonight. Wow. Sold out. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. You know, thank you, Crossroads, for having us. This is awesome. This church is getting so big. I'm afraid when you start calling the prayer hotline, you're going to get a guy from India to answer the phone. People say, what do you do, Nazareth, to prepare for this? What do you do a week before to prepare for this? I stay off the 91 freeway. That's what I do. Anybody drove on the 91 freeway coming here? And they still have construction on it. You know, these people, when they die and they're running to the gates of heaven, they're going to be orange cones that will lead them to hell. Because the whole freeway system in California is the work of Satan. You think of Satan as someone who's wearing a red suit and a fork. No, he's wearing an orange suit and a shovel. But to those that don't know me, I am from the Middle East, but ever since September 11th, I feel so Mexican. You know, I fly a lot and I always miss my connection flights because I can't run at the airport anymore. If you look like me, don't run anywhere. People will tackle you. In the name of freedom. Like when you guys travel, you check the Weather Channel, we check Homeland Security colors. Hey kids, it's orange, we can't take a vacation this year. You know, I feel my job as a Christian is to comfort you on the plane. It doesn't work. How many of you have flown since September 11th? Aren't you glad I was not sitting right next to you on the plane? I don't care how Christian you are, you get nervous at 30,000 feet next to me. I had a priest sitting there. He goes, "You're not Middle Eastern, are you?" I go, "Yes, I am." Because it's your allegiance to this country? I said, "Yeah, I want to die here." No. What happened? We used to be your 7-Eleven people, remember? Where did we go wrong? We stayed up all night for you people. The Koreans went to bed at 9. We stayed up all night. We took your camel jokes, your Slurpee jokes, they didn't bother us. I even have little kids come make fun of me. This girl comes to goes, "Do you know where Middle Eastern people go when they die?" I'm like, "Where, honey?" "Heaven 11. Ha! Get out of I prayed. I said, "Lord Jesus, what do I tell airport security?" And God said, "Celine Dion and Elton John." I go, "Come again, Lord. I don't speak Hebrew." And God said, "When you sing, you don't have an accent." It's true. So now I don't talk to airport security. I sing to them. I look at the officer and go, "Hello? Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes." He goes, "Where are you from, boy?" I go, "This land is my land. What are you doing here?" "I believe I can fly." You sound Middle Eastern. Feliz Navidad. You know, I tried everything. Nothing works except nobody is scared of a girly terrorist. So now I go to the airport, go, "Hi, who's going to frisk me today?" Let him go. Because I fly a lot. I was in Texas the other day. Any Texans in the house? I was in Frisco, Texas, and the cowboys think they can intimidate me. This cowboy comes to me and goes, "Hey boy, I know where you're from, so don't be doing anything funny, you know what I mean?" "Yeah, I know what you mean." I'm a Californian, I don't own a gun. And then after the show, they have fireworks, and he comes to me and goes, "Hey boy, you have fireworks in the Middle East?" I go, "Yeah, but they come down." And then I went to Canada in December. Minus 40 degrees in Calgary, Canada. And the pastor goes, it's a little nippy. Nippy, I'm from California. We evacuate in this. If you can die at room temperature, that's not nippy. I feel sorry for marriages over there. Can you see the wife going, honey, I don't feel your love. You don't feel my love, I don't feel my feet. And then I was invited by Ramstein Air Force Base. Where's our military people? Raise your arms. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. They invited me to Germany on the 10th year of September 11. Me to Germany. I thought they're trying to deport me nicely. And they go, you're going to have about 1,000 soldiers, airmen. I'm like, I hope I'm not a flashback or anything. And I did it. They briefed me on everything, except they didn't tell me it cost €0.50 to use a public restroom in Germany. €0.50! That's why some Germans over there look angry. They're not angry. They don't have change. But I like when I travel, I like to encourage people. The other day I was flying to Fort Benning, Georgia for the Army base. And I left Ontario early. I'm rushing through Dallas Fort Worth Airport, Terminal 4. True story. I'm running, trying to get to my plane because I'm late. I remember I'm starving. I didn't eat any food. So I go to this place called, it's a cafe called Eau de Pain, which is French for stomach cramps. So I'm there and I feel the Lord. I'm like, can I have a pastrami sandwich? And God just whispers to me. He goes, encourage someone. I'm like, Lord, if you encourage the pilot to wait, I'll encourage someone. So I'm looking, everybody looks happy except for a heavy set, African-American lady with short hair, no apron, no name tag, nothing. And she started making my sandwich, just depressed. I'm like, that's her. So I look over the window and she goes, get off the glass. I'm like, I want to tell you, God loves you. He has a plan for your life. When you were born, your mommy thought you're the most beautiful girl in the world. And don't forget that, because I tell my daughters, don't fall for the standard of beauty that this world gives, because you're beautiful just the way you are. And I was proud, yes. Yes. Looks up to me, goes, dude, my name is Gary. Thanks a lot. Funny one. Ah, Lord, thank you. My name is Nazareth. I was born in the city of Nazareth in Israel. And it's a family tradition to name you after the city. I feel sorry for my brother Waikiki. My other brother Albuquerque. And my sister Buffalo. Location, location, location. My first exposure to this country 30 years ago was a small zoo in Cleveland. I paid $20 to see an elephant, a camel, a bull, and a donkey. In my country, that's a car dealership. But I love this country because this is the only place in the world where you can take French toast, English muffin, Canadian bacon, and call it the all-American breakfast. Because it's, I lost weight. I've been on the Fannie Mae diet. I lost my equity, my 401k, and nothing to roll over anymore. Because, food is getting expensive. Did you notice that? It's expensive. The other day, I went to Albertson. My wife gave me 12 items of grocery. I get to the counter, $160 for groceries. And the cashier looks at me, she goes, do you want to donate $1 toward hunger? Not anymore. A can of peanuts is $15. Isn't peanuts means nothing? I go, how come it's expensive? She goes, well, gas prices are up. Well, tell me where they grow it. I'll go pick it up myself. Then she goes, you want paper or plastic? No, I want a gift box. Wrap it up. Put a bow on it. You go to Walmart. Why pay more? Because you charge me more. I went to pick up a hobby with my son. He's 15. I said, we're gonna try to connect. So we went to Big Bass Pro of the 15 freeway. You know, and they have hunting stuff. Anybody hunts in California? Do you guys hunt? Wow. I mean, I didn't know we hunt here. So I went to the place, and I don't know about hunting. I asked the guy, what do you hunt for? He goes, ducks. Ducks? What do you dress like bread and wait at the park? I don't know. So we're looking, a rifle, a gun is $400. How can our gang members afford it? And then you can't just buy the gun and go shoot the animals. You have to wear the camouflage outfit. So if you get lost in the forest, no one can find you. By the time you're done, it's like $1,000. It's cheaper just to go, hey, go to a petting zoo and say, hey man, do you have an old deer I can stab? It's expensive. Yes. But I don't know. I love being in America. I love being here. Do we have any illegal immigrants here? Turn the cameras off. Turn the cameras off. We are welcome at Crossroads anytime. You know, I became a citizen, you know. I went to the immigration in Los Angeles many years ago. And when you walk inside there, they give you a small American flag made in Korea. And the judge comes in, and you know, and I needed a translator because my examiner didn't speak English. Thank you for getting that one. Because you know what? You guys don't speak English. You speak American. I'm serious. It's hard. You guys have to be careful of your slang. Some people overseas think you're cannibals. I'm serious, they're scared. You go, someone, hey, this American guy told me, he said he wants to have coffee. He wants to pick my brains. How long of a cotton swab does he need for that? Hey, can you help me? Can you keep an eye out for me? No. I can't keep an eye out for you. It will dangle or something like that. Can you lend me an ear? No, I can't. Give me a hand. Leave me alone. I'm just pulling your leg. Don't do it. And what do you do when you get sick? You toss your cookies. Get a Frisbee or something. And you worry you sweat bullets. Is that how you get your weapons, people? You sweat bullets? And then, you know, the other day, and I get tired. It's tiring to speak American because you have to jump into conclusions and you have to bend over backwards and you try to make ends meet. Don't do that. That's not hygienically right. I know our government is trying to help people make ends meet. Don't. Keep them separated. Keep your head in the game. I was doing a show, a guy comes to me, he goes, break a leg. You break a leg. Because you're so funny, I busted a gut. Well, call your doctor. Oh, you're so funny, you crack me up. Why don't you guys crack zigzag or down? Why up? And then when you die, you either kick the bucket or go out with a bang. So next time you see a foreigner, say, hey, you better speak English or you don't have a leg to stand on. And I first came here, I went to order some steak. I asked the waiter, I said, I want a steak. He goes, what kind? I go the back, the neck, the leg, I don't care. He goes, you want sirloin? You want tri-tip? You want a shank? You want... Why do you guys have all these names? Does the cow know that? Have you ever seen a cow walking and says, oh, I fell and I hurt my tri-tip. Oh, my filet mignon is swollen. Does this dress make my brisket look big? Because, I love food. I love to eat, and I'm an American, so don't tell me what not to eat. There's a lot. I'm serious. You know what? It's good. We live in California, a lot of health stuff. Anybody got a fat letter from the government for their kids? They're sending letters saying your kids are fat. I'm serious. That's not their job. You know what? I'm sorry. I went to Santa Monica. I was ordering, I went to a cafe. They had burgers and fries, and they have tofu and health food. That's wrong. That's like having Israeli and Palestinian food at the same place. The food good, but the client's gonna clash. So I went and ordered cheeseburger and fries and a bottle of water. And I'm eating my sandwich. I'm the only one in the place. And they have tofu. Anybody had tofu before? Ew. It's the whole day you feel like you had a jar of Vaseline. Ew, I had tofu. So anyway, I'm eating my sandwich. Here comes a bicyclist, not a Harley. Those bicyclists, the matching, you know. He was so skinny, his spandex were baggy. And he had the helmet on. He was eating stucco. Those, you know what he called rice cakes. And then he goes, I'm having a carrot juice. That's all I'm having today. That's what they tell everybody what they're eating all day. They're just bragging about it. I'm like, good for him. And then he looks at me. I kid you not. He goes, ew. I'm insecure, people. I'm like, me? He goes, ew, look at that meat. Why don't you just go bite a cow? I'm like, okay, Lord Jesus, stay out of this one. I know what you're going to tell me, Lord. Turn the other cheek. This guy has no cheeks anywhere in his body. I'm not turning anything. God said, leave him alone. He's on cleansers. And he left. Came back, looked at my bottle of water. He goes, great, plastic. That's great for our green planet. I go, sir, I watch Discovery Channel. Our planet is blue. But I love this guy. Food. I have allergies. Anybody have allergies? I'm allergic to pollen, dust mites, Nancy Pelosi, Lady Gaga, everything. No, really. I went to a doctor and he looks at me and goes, you're allergic to sand. I'm like, I'm from the Malays, come again. Because you're also allergic to furry animals. My whole family is furry animals. Come on, look at your kids when they're born here in this country. They have no hair, fuzz. Us, when we're born, we look like a coconut wrapped in a towel. Because there's only two cultures in this world. There's a Western culture. If you're born here, or if you're from Canada, Australia, Europe, you're an individual culture. If you're Middle Eastern, Asian, Latin, African American, you're collective culture. Here, when you turn 18, you want your space. You want to move on your own. You guys love your space. Hey, get away from me. I need my space. And you guys are clean. I have to take 2 showers a day to keep up with you Americans. Because you don't want to be close to people. Get away from me. The more money you have, the bigger is your house, the bigger is your yard, because you love your space. Not here. Here we don't need space. We live together. That's why we can't get jobs. Because every job application have a question on it. Name of nearest relative not living with you. We all live together. Here, when you go on a vacation, where do you go? Camping, secluded places, away from people. Here, we visit relatives. I have so many relatives visit every summer. I called Homeland Security. I'm not saying that, officer, but you never know. Here, because you're an individual culture, you have a pet. How many of you have dogs? Look at that. When I perform overseas, 1 in 1,000 have a dog. I have a dog. I have a dachshund. This sausage dog, and he's neutered. So I named him Rocky to maintain some dignity for the little thing. So one time I was walking Rocky, and some veterinarian, and looks at him and he goes, "Man, he's losing hair. You need to do something." I'm like, "Hey, my doctor wasn't that upset." Because no, take him to. So I went to Centennial Animal Hospital here in Corona, and I walk in there, and people think they're real doctors. I'm serious. The nurse was wearing a white robe with a stethoscope. And I walk in, she goes, "Hello, Pooch. I'm not from this country." I said, "Hi." She got mad at me. She goes, "What is Rocky's last name?" "I don't know. I forgot to ask his dad." She's like, "What is your last name?" "I'm not giving you my last name. My dad will roll in his grave if he finds out." I do have a last name. It's Rizkallah. We pronounce it Smith. For immigration reasons. And then, she goes, "Fine, I don't need a last name. Have you noticed any, like eating disorders for Rocky? Like, he's a dog. He'll eat my shoe if I give it to him. Come on." She goes, "Also, one question. Have you noticed any emotional changes on Rocky?" I kid you not. They asked me that. I'm like, "Okay, Lord, keep that one away. Stay out of this one too." I go, I'm glad you asked me that. Because the other day, me and Rocky were just sitting drinking apple cider and eating corn dogs. And he opened up. This Pooch is really depressed. See, other dogs chase their tails in a circle. He's long, he has to go in squares. Wait, there's more. See, Rocky, every time we go by a yard sale, he starts barking. I didn't know why till he told me. His dad left his mom with 7 pups. She sold 6 of them on Craigslist. She gave them away for free at a yard sale. She goes, "Sir, I'm done with that. I'm done. How are you going to pay for this?" I go, "Oh, I have Rocky's credit card right here." But I love being American, because in this country, you know what? I came to know Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. So, amen. I was a comedian and, doing the clubs and everything, and God got a hold of my life and changed my life. And to me, it was like, before I was a Christian, I was like a car that keeps breaking down. Now that I'm a Christian, I'm the same old car, but now I'm married to a mechanic and I have AAA. That's my translation of my Christianity. God changed my life, and I was single. Any single people in the room? I was single. I made a deal with the Lord. I said, "Lord, you know more girls than I do. So you find me a wife, and I'll go evangelize through comedy. I'll go do your thing through comedy, but you find me a wife." I made a deal. Because I didn't know how to meet a Christian lady. What's my pickup line going to be? "I agape you, you weaker vessel. You look hotter than the lake of fire. You got your glorified body already." You remind me of the verse that said, "Love thy neighbor." Mwah. I'm afraid someone will look at me and say, "You remind me of the verse that said, 'Depart from me, I never knew you.'" So I prayed. I said, "Lord, I want a beautiful wife with a rich father that memorized the entire Bible, but let your will be done." And I waited. And in 1995, my father was dying at Hoag Hospital in Newport Beach. He said, "Son, when I die, would you go do me a favor?" I said, "What?" He said, "Would you go to Israel for me?" I said, "I'll do it." He said, "Would you go to the Gaza Strip for me?" I said, "No." You've heard of the Gaza Strip? People with uneven facial hair going dust to America, and they're wearing a Nike shirt. Separation of apparel and state. This is funny. Last week I was in D.C. doing a show called Forget Furlough for government workers. And there were a lot of D.C. government workers out there. And it's funny, I was trying to explain to them capitalism. I told him, this is what capitalism means. Do you know what capitalism means? Capitalism means from the day you're born till the day you die, someone's going to sell you something. You're born and the Huggies and the Pampers people will come after you. The diaper people. Then Fisher-Price will come after you. Then if you're a boy, Nintendo and Sony will come after you. If you're a girl, Mattel and Barbie will come after you. Then the whole world will sell you stuff. And if they can't sell you anything, they sell you insurance. Never buy insurance from a Christian insurance agency. Because to them, everything is an act of God and they will not cover it. Yes. And they sell you stuff. And then you get old and the drug companies will come after you. Then the Huggies people will come back. And then you die. And they sell you that too. Miller Mortuary is a sponsor, so no, they're very nice. They sell you that. But you know what? It's just, so I was standing at my table and comes this guy with a suit. I knew who was CIA or FBI, furloughed. And he just said, he looks at me, he goes, you're from Israel? I said, yes. He goes, I love Hamas. Like, what? He goes, I love Hamas. I'm like, you do? He goes, yeah, with pita bread. Thank you. I thought you were trying to arrest me or something. But anyway, that's what reading the Gaza Strip. It was 99.9% Muslims. So, but I promised my dad to go. So when he died, I flew into Tel Aviv, drove to the Gaza Strip. That night, I'm having dinner with my cousin, his fiance, and her sister. And he looks at me, he goes, you look happy, what's wrong with you? I said, you know what? Christ changed my life. He gave me hope, a reason to live. He knew my darkest secrets, still loved me. And he goes, shh, don't listen to him. He's a born-again Christian. Her sister said, me too. And I go, would you like to marry me? Just came out of my mouth. I didn't mean it. Just came out of my mouth. And she looks at me and she's gorgeous. She said, I've been praying for a believer to come to this side of the world. Let me pray and fast for 3 days. I'll get back to you. 3 days later, she came back. She goes, I'm starving. Let's do it. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. God answered my prayer. Yes. Yes. One day I was single. 24 hours later, I'm planning a wedding. God works that way. Sometimes He can change your situation in 24 hours. He can. He's done it so many times, and He can still do it. Don't give up on that. Yes. We got engaged. And I came back to the U.S. a year later. I went back. We got married. And you know what? The wedding was just, we had 600 people at our wedding. I didn't know any of them. That's the culture. And at the end of the wedding, they all line up in one line and give the bride jewelry, mostly gold. That's the culture. By the time they were done, my bride looked like Snoop Doggy Dogg. Or Mr. T, you know what I mean? Gold chains, gold rings, gold watches. I spent 3 weeks in LA after the wedding going, hey man, you want to wear a gold watch? Hurry up, it's not stolen. I just want a toaster, okay? We've been married 17 years. I love her more today than when I met her. Yes. Yes. Marriage is great, people. Oh, it's beautiful when you do it God's way. We've been married. You know, what makes our marriage strong is we pray together. But men, pray first. Lord, thank you for my wife. Whatever stupid things I say and do, she forgets about them. As far as the east from the west. And for that, I am thankful. And she prays, Lord, thank you for Nazareth. I know you love him so much. You want him in your presence right now. Would you use me as a vessel tonight to accomplish thy will, O Lord? Come back. My wife is into candles. We have so many candles, the Vatican calls us once in a while. But you look at candle stores, they have candles like, smells Irish Spring, French vanilla. They don't have any candles smelled after the Middle East. You don't go, smells like Iraq. What is that, Afghani gunpowder? But you know what makes a marriage strong? Have your in-laws move in with you. Yes, it will make you strong. You become teams. You and your wife against them, even though they're nice. I don't care. They're nice people. But you and your wife become a team. You know, my mom lives. I love my mom. She lives with us. But you know what? You know, we can't fight out loud. We can't argue because someone's living with you. It's hard to have a mom and a wife and 2 daughters in the house. I have estrogen dripping from my ceiling in the form of tears. You know what I mean? So we can't argue a lot. So I come home, she comes, come here. Close the door. Put the mattress against us. She can hear us. Like she's sleeping. She can hear the space shuttle. Did you see what she did? She took the vase out of the kitchen, put it in the living room without even asking me. It's not her house. She can't do it. Well, I'll tell her not to do it. No. I love her. I don't want her upset. I don't want to upset her. I'm just venting out. Well, I'm a man. I need to vent out too. No. You know what she does? She does. Why aren't you listening to me? Because I can't hear you. That's why. When she keeps telling the kids, don't do this, don't do that. She's not their mom. She can't tell them what to do. Well, you're not my mom. You're telling me what to do. Don't slam the door loudly. But I love my mom. You know, now that our son is 15 and a half, at one day he's going to go to college, and my wife started feeling that. Moms feel it already. She's like, 2 more years, 2.5 more years, he's gone. See, I remember when I was 18 coming to the U.S. in 1819. You know, my mom was a tough lady. Never told me she loves me, but everything she did proves she does. Never told me she loves me. Never. But she loves me so much. I know that. To this day, she lives with me. I know she loves me. But you know what? When I was 18, I was at Kuwait airport, ready to leave. And she just would walk, not a tear. It's like, come here. Come here. Come here. I'm like, oh, she's going to say it. Come here. Don't smoke, don't drink, don't do drugs, don't watch dirty magazines. Okay? Okay, Mom, I love you. Go. Okay? Come here. Don't smoke, don't drink, don't do drugs, and don't watch dirty magazines. Okay? Okay, Mom, I love you. Go. So I went, never said. She called me every day for a whole 4 months. How are you? You're doing good? You're eating? Okay, bye-bye. Nothing. That's all she said. Then 4 months later, how are you? You know, if you lie to your mother, you're going to go to hell. You know that. God loves mothers, and you lie to mother, you're going to hell. You know that. Yes, Mom. Do you have any cigarettes around? Yes, Mom, I do. Ooh. Do you have any alcohol? Yes. Any dirty magazines? Yeah, I have Cosmopolitan and Playboy and all that. You're a bad son. No, Mom, I work at 7-Eleven, okay? I love my mom. My mom is 5 foot. She doesn't want my wife to take her shopping. She wants me to take her shopping. And she loves Macy's, the women's department. And you know, and I'm allergic to fur and linen and all that. And I drop her, and then she goes, come back in half an hour. Never use the cell phone. So I'm always looking for her at the mall. She's the same height as the racks. So I'm at Macy's, Mom. I'm like, oh, you lost your mother, young man? But we have 3 sons, you know, not 3 sons. I have 1 son, Newport Beach. I have my daughter, Carol, after, you know, because we went to Lamaze when John was born. Anybody been to Lamaze? It's a French word that means don't waste your money, the baby's going to come out anyway. And we called him Newport Beach, John. And then 2 years later, we have baby Carol. And then 7 years later, we have Tally, baby Tally. Tally is Hebrew for oops. A blessed oops, you know what I mean? So now I have 3 kids. I'm a dad. How many fathers we have in the room? Pray for us. Look, we're you know, it's hard to be a dad. It's hard. I come home, one is on the computer, one on the iPad, one on the iPhone. I have to call him by their username to get him to listen to me. Yes. And that's all, our life is based on Wi-Fi. Are we going to your uncle? Does he have Wi-Fi? We go to people's house. What's the password? What's the password? You have Wi-Fi? What's the password? Relax, kids. One day I said, we're done with electronics. We went to Big Bear camping. They're going at night next to the tents. Do you have Wi-Fi? What's the password? The other day I rented a car, a Ford Explorer. I'm driving. I push a button by mistake. It says, what temperature? I go, 70. And the air conditioner went on by itself. Wow. I push another button. I said, what station? I said, 89.7. And it went to the station by itself. And then my friend goes, that's all technology. Yeah, but I'm a dad. It's nice to be listened to. Without arguing. Oh. My dog doesn't even listen to me. My dog does something really weird. I have to share it. I'm sorry. You know what? Every time I eat dinner, we have a glass door that leads to the outside. And every time we're eating dinner, this dog goes, turns around, looks at me, and starts doing his thing while I'm eating dinner. I told my wife, look, he's doing it again. She goes, he's a dog. He doesn't know how to. I said, yeah, he's doing it purposely. And he grins like, So now I'm putting jalapeno in his food, so he's not grinning anymore. But my kids came to me, the little one's still like, Daddy, can you make us a car that can fly? I'm like, honey, I'm not Henry Ford, and if I make anything that flies, we'll be deported. But I see my son loves to play this game, Modern Warfare 2. Anybody have the Xbox? Those Modern? Yes. It's a game where our soldiers go to like insurgents and shoot at them, The graphics were so good when I played, I ended up shooting 2 people I went to school with. They were like me, but with bandanas, you know what I mean? And my kids like to fight sometimes. Anybody have siblings that fight? Good, we're not alone. It's normal. But you know what? I'm like, hey guys, my desire is that you would know Jesus. So sit down, let me read the Bible to you. Just a minute. You sit here, stop it. And Jesus said, if someone hits you on the right cheek, you give him the, What happened? He hit me, Dad. No, she poked me in the eye first. No, he hit me, Dad. No, she poked me in the eye. I'm like, shut up! Let me tell you about the love of Jesus, okay? But it's not fair. He hit me. No! Stop it. But Dad, it's not. Wait, I recommend this to every parent. I have National Football League cameras installed in my house. I go, wait right here. Let me review the play. After further review, it looks like your hand touched her shoulder right before her finger hit your cornea. John, go to your room. Carol, first down. And then my daughter loves One Direction. Any Directioners in the house? 5 boys. Oh, from England. They're fantastic. They sing like this. Ha, 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 ha. And my daughter goes, look how talented. Talented? This guy has an inflamed appendix. Call 911 for him. Last month, their movie came out. We went to the movie theater at the Crossing. 500 girls screaming, me and my daughter. She sees her friends, she leaves me and goes sits with them. Yes, I'm sitting by myself watching the movie. Moms are coming, you weirdo, what are you doing here? And then there's a guy by the name of Justin Bieber. Anybody know the Bieber? When this guy was 15, he wrote a song, Baby, Baby, and the lyrics said, I've been looking for you all my life. You're 15. You don't even have a driver's license. You need your mom to drive you around looking for her. Did you look outside of your school district, maybe? Maybe she qualifies for the Amber Alert or something. But You know, I just want to encourage you a little bit quickly because it's good to laugh, but I want to encourage you a little bit. Many years ago when the economy hit in 08, 09, things were going really, really bad for comedians because everybody wanted to book comedians. They're like, we're laying off pastors and we're laying off staff, but yeah, come and do comedy. No, nobody wanted us. And I prayed and my wife said, you're doing comedy, that's it. Don't do anything else. So we stayed, at that, and the banks like, oh, we have big mortgage. So I started paying as much as I can, and slowly it started to where I couldn't pay a lot, but I believe personally in my own thing, I have to pay the bank. So I started paying as much as I can. And man, the interest just boom. It seems like I didn't know what to do. I was like, Lord, that's a lot. What are we going to do? I'm not going to leave the house. I'm not going to do that. And then one day I get a call from a friend. He goes, how you doing now? I go, I'm doing great. They go, that's not what God told me. What did God tell you? He told me you have an issue and you need help. Really? She goes, there's a FedEx tomorrow. Next day, I get a check, $10,000 more than what I owed the bank. Yes! Hope in 24 hours. God can change your situation in 24 hours. Some of you are scared. And I want to just do this, and I do this just to encourage you. Listen, if you're a cancer survivor, would you stand up? Let's turn the lights on. I just want to encourage those who are scared. Stand up. All right. Stand up and keep standing up. Some of you are scared tonight because you're afraid that you're going through chemo, or you're afraid because your parents had it that you might get it, or you have a lump on your skin and you're afraid you're going to get it. I'll tell you what, even though, and God forbid, if it happens, I'll tell you what, these people standing here, I don't know them, but I can tell you one thing. They can tell you, I'm glad we went through it because we look at life now in a whole different perspective. So if you're scared, talk to one of them. Last week I met Lydia's daughter. Lydia, 24 years ago, she had cancer. What was it? What kind?
Cervical cancer.
It was a cervical cancer, and
Actually all over my body.
And then when the doctor opens to operate and take it out, he found it's all over her body. They said, there's nothing we can do, and they just closed it and said, go enjoy yourself for 3 months. 24 years ago, she's here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody lost their business and they said it's over, but now they're back, they're doing better? Would you stand up? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And some of you are afraid, oh, the economy, what if I lose my business? So what? God can change your situation. Anybody? They had troubles in their marriage, but they hanged on. And now they're stronger. Their marriage is stronger than before. Would you stand up as a couple? Here you go. Oh, you think you're the only one, huh? You think, oh no, my situation is different. People been through it and it can work. If your marriage is under trouble, give it one more chance. Give it 24 hours more, please. Do that. You know what? I have a neighbor. His name is Connor. Connor, last year, same day, almost today. I don't know if his family is here. Are you Connor's family here? My neighbors of Maryland and Summertree. Are you? What happened? Connor was hit by a drunk driver. 23-year-old young man was hit by a drunk driver. And I prayed for the family, and I didn't have the urge to even knock on the door. Kept praying. One day I saw his mom, and I said, "Hey, I've been praying for you." She goes, "Thank you." She goes, I go, "So how do you feel?" She goes, "I forgave the man. I forgave him. I have 2 other kids to raise. I cannot not forgive." People go through hard times. Life is not easy. But you know what? There's hope. There's hope. God can change your situation. He can help you heal. He can restore things. He's into that. When my son was 5 and 6, we used to act out a Bible story. And there's a Bible story in the book of Acts where there was a lame man at the beautiful gate. And Peter and John walked by him. And he goes, do you have any money? I go, and Peter said, silver and gold I don't have. What I have I'll give to you in the name of Jesus Christ. Get up and walk. And the man got up and walked. And you know what? It was a miracle. Never walked before. And I go, John, you want to play that? He goes, yeah. I said, lay down, John. He goes, give me a cup. So I gave him the cup. He's the lame man. I'm Peter. I'm walking by him. And then it hit me. What if this lame man in the morning had things to do today? And he looked at his list and he said, okay, my friend's going to pick me up. They're going to take me to the beautiful gate. And God, if you're really kind, I normally get 10 shekels. But if you're really kind, will you make it 40? And if you really can do a huge miracle, make it 100. And he prayed, not knowing that that day, God's going to do above and beyond what he could really imagine. I'm not in the teaching of wealth and health and all that because I'm this old car that keeps breaking down still. You know what I mean? I don't. But I believe God can do above and beyond what you're able. So I walk by and say, John, and he goes, do you have any money? I go, silver and gold I don't have. What I have I'll give to you in the name of Jesus Christ. Get up and walk. He goes, nah, just give me the money. This is wonderful, wonderful. You know, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, and I just, before I close, I want to say something. Is there anybody, woman here in the room, that have a husband that snores? Would you raise your arm? I want to pray for you. Keep it up. Keep it up. Don't be afraid of him. I have an aunt who died from secondhand sleep apnea. This can kill you, ladies. I feel your pain. You know, you were single, like, God, I need a prince. Would you send me a prince, Lord? And you prayed. And you got married and said, Lord, we're not going to sleep at night. We're going to read the Bible together. We're going to worship. We're going to have fun. And then you get married. Midnight, wedding night, he's... And you're still shocked. People who are engaged, tell them you snore. Don't shock them like that. But you're still so madly in love, you go, oh God, my honey needs oxygen. Tilt your head, honey bun, you're making little noises. 2 years later, you still have not slept since wedding night. But now your attitude have changed. You look at him and go, God, Moses killed an Egyptian and you forgave him. Let's just call it a pillow fight that went wrong. 5 years later, no sleep. You have black under your eye now. You don't even lay in bed. You just sit there staring at him. I don't respect you. Look at you, you oxygen hog. You suck the roof when you inhale. And you start treating him like a dog. Roll over, roll over. Lay down, get up, what? Lay down. 10 years later, he has the machine now. Oh, how romantic. Thank you, Lord. 15 years later, he's old, he got hair in his throat, he's drooling. Just look at him and say, God, just take him. I sacrifice him back to you. Just like Abraham put Isaac on the altar, here you go. And don't send me a goat, I'm going to keep the goat. I'd rather hear bad and... I don't know why I don't snore. I'm from the Middle East. We're like Jewish people. We snore when we talk. Hi, how are you? That's why some Middle Eastern women wear veils. It's not religious. They're tired of the ah. You know, some husbands sound like, well, I asked women, what does it sound like? It's just like what he did. Some women, you know, some husbands sound like a Harley Davidson that needs tune-up. It'll be, honey, put her on fifth, I'm trying to sleep. Some sound like a lion facing a hummingbird. It'll be. Some of them scare you. It'll be. Wake up, we have a mortgage. Wake up. Not in this economy, you're not. Good try, though. Good try. I don't snore. My wife doesn't snore either, so we hear every noise that happens downstairs. You know, we have a fridge with an ice cube machine that waits for us to go to bed. I know it. Then it goes, my wife goes, what was that? I go, I don't know. I'm not your macho guy, you know what I mean? My macho-ness is somewhere between a military commando and a male synchronized swimmer. I don't know. She goes, go down and check. Well, it's your turn. I went the last time. But you're the man. What if it's a female burglar? One time I was doing the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. And they booked me at the Opryland Hotel. Very nice, 2 big beds and everything. And they forgot to book a room for my road manager. He goes, oh, I'll sleep on the bus. I'm like, come on, I have 2 beds. He goes, we can't, you're the artist. We're not supposed. Come on, man, I won't say anything. So anyway, he's sleeping, he's older, I'm sleeping. I wake up to hear someone cutting a tree and eating Doritos at the same time. It's like... couldn't go back to bed. I put my headphones on, turned it to rap. It's the loudest thing I could get. It didn't help. It was like... like, no, I can't do that. So I took my pillow. I said, I'm going to choke him a little bit. He started talking out loud in his dream. Oh, they're coming. Open the door. Run to the car. Start the car. The car won't start. I wanted to choke him, but I wanted to hear the end of the story. I'm Nazareth. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.